in fact, he hasn't done it since 2021. So how do you sort of get over the fact that he's not there this week?
Yeah, I think he missed about 6 or 7 that year. He had a syndesmosis injury. I think we won every game.
So you think you'll be absolutely fine by the second game?
Well, you know, you lose players during the season, and we've got a really strong midfield, so we expect other boys who have already stepped up all year anyway, that they'll just continue to do that. So we'd rather have Lachie in our team than not, but it's not the end of the world.
Do you think we'll see young Levi get some time in there?
He got a little bit of time in there a few weeks ago, and he's been playing as a wingman most of the time, so it might be something that we explore a little bit of tomorrow. But we've got Jared Berry who can play inside mid, we've got Zach Bailey who can play inside mid, so we've got a few that can cover.
I was talking to the doctors, how confident are you that Lachie's going to be right for looking into crystal ball for week 1 of finals? You're pretty sure that he'll be a cherry right by then?
Yeah, did you say you've spoken to the doctors?
I said, have you?
Oh, have I? I believe our medical people, they think that he'll just need until the end of the home and away to recover. It's one of those injuries that if you saw him run yesterday, you think, why isn't he playing? It's probably the threat if he does something more to it that'll be a lot worse. So we've got to nip it in the bud now, pretty much, and he should be okay until 3 weeks' time.
And as good as he is, he seems to get better at that time of year as well. So you're sure that you're hopeful, confident that he can find that level straight away if he's not playing?
Oh yeah, he's a professional, and he'll be able to train quite hard over the next few weeks. It might even freshen him up. I mean, the interesting thing last week was he played one of his best games of the year, and he felt that little injury early in the game, but he was able to play like he played. So I'm this confused coach. Why is he out? You know, he's running all right. He played pretty good last week, but that's the story.
Do you think that he's had a really sort of he's obviously had another brilliant year, but he's sort of flown under the radar a bit. A lot of the focus seems to be going on McCluggage and Ashcroft a bit these days, and Neale's been able to, really really get some good numbers week in, week out.
Yeah, I mean, that's Lachie. His whole career he's been consistent, and the idea is that we were probably once upon a time that team that were reliant on Lachie, especially when he first turned up, and we've become that team now that can share the load.
Is it a disruption though to have I guess to Josh's point, like such an integral guy, a regular guy out at this stage of the season when you're probably trying to bed things down?
Oh, the ideal thing is you go into finals with a settled lineup, but you don't always get that sort of perfection. I think if you look back on last year, the good thing that happened last year is we had lots of disruption last year, and we found our way into the finals. But when we got to finals, we only had one change for the 4 games that we played. So it's sort of like I've got to move on. I can't spend any time thinking about it, mate. We've got to pick our best team for this weekend, and the bottom line is we've got a midfield that's got a lot of depth.
What got Tom Doedee over the line for you this week?
Well, Ryan Lester got injured, so it's a like-for-like replacement. So, and he's played 3 or 4 weeks in a row now on the reserves. His game last week was really solid. He feels like he's ready. It's probably a good time to give him an opportunity.
Chris, how sort of happy was he when you said to him that you're playing?
Oh, very happy. It's been a long time, hasn't it, for him? He hasn't played since the middle of 2023, so it's a long time between drinks, and he's had 2 ACLs and a few other setbacks in that time, and we recruited him to our club. He was about to play his first game last year, and he did his knee again at training the week before, so it's a good story of persistence, and I'm sure he'll make the most of that opportunity.
I imagine there's probably a lot going through his head in the lead up to this game, first game in 2+ years. What's your instructions to him?
I won't say too much to him, I don't think. Just encourage him. I don't want to add to the noise. He's a professional. He's been around a long time. He's just got to do his job. I think that's always the thing. When you speak to players that are in that position, just go out and play your role, and you don't have to be anything remarkable. Just be reliable and do what you've got to do.
How important is the leadership of Harris Andrews? I mean, you've had a lot of fallen soldiers in the defence this year, and I mean, even the way he played last week, he really stood up. He's such a pillar for the club.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a fantastic captain for us since he started, and there's other boys in the leadership group as well that have stood up last week, like Josh Dunkley, like Lachie, like Huey McCluggage. There was a lot of them. Brandon Starcevic, Charlie Cameron. They were all there doing their bit. So it's not just a one-man band, our leadership, as much as Harris is one of our captains. and he sets a fine example. It's a collective effort by all of our leaders.
Do you look at last night's game, obviously an unexpected loss to the Magpies, who've been the dominant side in the competition, and this is a real opportunity for you guys to take a top 2 spot. I know we ask every week if you're ladder watching, but has there been any of that going on for you?
No, well, the players might look at it, but I don't talk about it. It's just like, we're just in the here and now, and you only have to look at the ladder. You make one mistake and you're in strife, like it's ridiculous. This time last year, I think we finished with 14.5 wins last year, and that got us 5th spot pretty easily. We've got 14.5 at the moment. That's not enough to make finals, so it's not worth spending emotional energy on looking at the ladder and trying to predict what might happen. It's just about here and now and do your best to get it done.
Just on that, you've got the best record in the AFL for beating teams inside the 8, but teams outside the 8 for some reason have been a challenge at times this year. Any idea why that would be?
No. You got any idea?
I'd love to know.
It doesn't make any sense, does it? Maybe the boys are just really good at getting themselves up for the bigger games. I don't know. We don't see Sydney in that category of teams that are battling. If you have a look at if you do a ladder for the last 6 weeks, Sydney have won 5 games and lost 1. So they're in really good form, and the only form that matters is current form. And, we played them in a grand final last year. It was a tough, tight game in round 1 earlier in the season. So we know what to expect. We're not sitting back thinking, oh, dear, we should be able to get this one. This is like, no, we've got to turn up and play really well, just like we did last week, with a real purpose, unlike the week before against the Gold Coast where we weren't on.
Fages yesterday, Dean Cox spoke, and he said, it's a shame that Lachie Neale is out of the side, but Huey McCluggage is one that they'll be keeping an extra eye on come the weekend.
Yeah.
Is there anyone, how warranted is that? Obviously he's had a stellar season, but is there anyone in Sydney's side that you'll be keeping an eye on in particular?
Oh, well, they've got a few, haven't they? Goulden and Heaney's a pretty handy player. Warner, they've got a few stars, so we'll just have a team approach though to a lot of those things. That's how we usually roll. Huey's had a fair bit of attention this year. It's not something new that he spoke about. He's played a lot of games where they've tried to tag him. That hasn't been successful. He's a pretty hard guy to play against because he can move into a few different positions. So that's how I see that.
Fages, do you think Danny Doedee would be a good senior coach?
You didn't realise that's Danny Doedee.
I know.
Yeah, obviously I do. I mean, he's been a fantastic help to me from the day I arrived here at this football club, and we're like brothers, I reckon. And we talk a lot about football, and I know he's got that capacity inside him to do it if that's what he wants to do. But that's completely up to Danny and others who make those sorts of decisions. I know we wouldn't like to lose him, that's for sure. But if it was for something like that, I'd be cheering him out of the place and saying good luck and go well.
Chris, you said that Lachie was running well yesterday. So was Kai. Is he a chance for next week?
He might be, although the medicos are telling me they're going to wait until the final home and away game to tick him off. So I don't know whether that'll change. It'll just depend what he looks like, I guess, as we progress through the next few days.